You talk. You offer your opinion. You try to contribute to the conversation. But somehow, your words do not land. People nod, they smile politely, and then they move on. They do not challenge your ideas. They do not build on them. They do not treat them as memorable or worth revisiting. Worse, they do not really seem to remember that you even spoke at all. They forget your name. They overlook your input. You are never the one they turn to for advice, leadership, or direction. You are liked, but not listened to. You are noticed, but not followed. You are heard, but not taken seriously. And deep down, that starts to wear on you. Because you know you are capable. You know you have thoughts that matter. You know that if they would just take one moment to really pay attention, they would see what you see in yourself. So what is missing? Why do people not take you seriously? The easy answer is to blame them. To say, people just do not respect intelligence anymore. Or, I guess charisma matters more than substance. Or even, maybe I am just not the kind of person others value. But those are surface-level answers. They might make you feel better for a little while, but they will never solve the real issue, because the truth is more uncomfortable and far more empowering. Here it is. People do not take you seriously because, on some level, you do not fully take yourself seriously. And no, this is not about being arrogant, loud, or bossy. This is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about your relationship with your own self-worth. Let us break this down. When you enter a room, people do not just see your clothes or hear your words. They feel your presence. They sense your energy. They pick up on your internal narrative, even if you never speak it out loud. If your internal story sounds like, "Please like me, do not think I am too much, let me prove I belong here," then guess what? That energy leaks into everything you say and do. You might say something brilliant, but your tone carries hesitation. You might share a good idea, but your body language whispers doubt. You might offer value, but your eyes scan the room looking for approval. And people respond to that, not consciously, not cruelly, but instinctively. They take their cue from you. If you signal, "I am not quite sure I belong," they will unconsciously agree. If you signal, "I do not want to upset anyone," they will avoid engaging too deeply. If you signal, "I am still waiting for permission to speak up," they will never give it to you, because they do not even realize you are asking. This is the hidden reason why people do not take you seriously, because you are constantly asking the world to validate something you have not yet validated within yourself. You are asking for external confirmation of an identity you have not fully owned, and people cannot give you something you have not claimed. You see, seriousness is not something others bestow upon you. It is something you embody, and you do not embody it by force. You embody it by alignment. Alignment with your values. Alignment with your truth. Alignment with the quiet, unwavering belief that you belong, no matter who doubts it, questions it, or overlooks it. Taking yourself seriously does not mean being rigid or egotistical. It means refusing to shrink to make others more comfortable. It means speaking from a place of self-respect, not performance. It means learning to sit in silence without panicking. It means letting people disagree with you without scrambling to win them back. It means trusting that the right people will hear you, and the wrong people never mattered anyway. But let us be honest, this kind of confidence is not taught. Most people are conditioned from a young age to make themselves smaller, to be agreeable accommodating and quiet, to avoid rocking the boat, to seek approval before authenticity. You were likely told, do not be too loud, do not be too emotional, do not be too opinionated. And over time, you started to internalize those rules. You stopped trusting your voice. You started asking for permission before you even opened your mouth. And now, as an adult, you are still doing it, just in more subtle ways. You over-explain yourself. You apologize before making a point. You soften your statements with disclaimers. You laugh when you feel uncomfortable, even when nothing is funny. All of this sends a message, and the message is this: I do not fully believe in what I am saying, so maybe you should not either. That is why people do not take you seriously, not because they are cruel, not because you are unworthy, but because you have not stopped trying to earn your place in the room. But here is the shift. You do not need to earn it. You only need to own it. The world reflects back what you radiate. When you speak with quiet conviction, people lean in. When you set boundaries without guilt, people take note. When you stop chasing validation, people start offering it freely. It is a paradox, but it is real. The moment you stop trying to be taken seriously is the moment people start taking you seriously, because they sense that you are grounded. They sense that you're not performing. They sense that you're not waiting for permission. You have already given it to yourself, and that changes everything. People are not just listening to what you say. They are watching everything you do in between, and that is where the real signals live. In the details, in the micro-habits, in the little behaviors you think do not matter, but they do. Let us start with how you speak. When you downplay your ideas with phrases like, "This might sound dumb, but," or "I do not know if this makes sense," you are training people not to listen before you have even spoken. You are telling them to lower their expectations, and they will. When you interrupt yourself mid-sentence because someone else begins to speak, you are showing them your voice is negotiable. When you apologize just for having an opinion, you are signaling that you believe it is inconvenient for others to hear you. It does not matter how smart you are. If your delivery is coated in self-doubt, that is all people will remember. Now let us talk about body language. You might not realize it, but your posture, eye contact, facial expressions, and even the way you walk are constantly speaking for you. If you slump your shoulders, avoid direct eye contact, or fidget with your hands, people subconsciously perceive you as unsure, even if your words are clear. And perception is everything. People take you as seriously as you appear to take yourself. If you move through the world with the energy of someone who expects to be overlooked, you will be. Not because people are malicious, but because you are training them how to treat you. Then there is your relationship with silence. This is a big one. Most people are deeply uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it, afraid of what others might think if they pause too long. But those who are taken seriously are not afraid of silence. They use it. A well-timed pause can say more than 100 rushed words. It shows that you are not desperate to convince. It shows control. It shows that you are okay letting your words land. Silence is power when used with intention. And what about boundaries? This is where the hidden reason becomes most visible. If you are constantly saying yes when you want to say no, if you are always available, always accommodating, always bending to the needs of others, you are teaching people that your time and energy are not valuable. Being liked and being respected are not the same thing. You can be liked by many and respected by none if you lack boundaries. And people do not take seriously those who cannot say, enough, or not right now, or that does not work for me. You have to draw the line before others can see it. And once you do, it must be real, enforced, unapologetic. If someone disrespects your time and you let it slide, they will do it again. If someone talks over you and you say nothing, they will keep talking. It is not about being aggressive. It is about being grounded in your own value. It is about realizing that saying no does not make you difficult. It makes you trustworthy. Because people trust those who know who they are and what they stand for. Now let us go even deeper into identity. The way you see yourself will always leak out into the way others see you. If you see yourself as someone who must prove their worth, that will be reflected in your tone, your choices, your presence, and people will respond to that. But if you operate from the belief that your value is inherent, not earned, not conditional, not fragile, then everything shifts. You speak differently. You hold space differently. You show up with a quiet kind of strength that does not need approval to function. This is the key. You do not get taken seriously by chasing external respect. You get taken seriously by becoming someone who respects themselves so deeply that others have no choice but to meet you there. Respect begins as an inner posture before it becomes a social reality. So now you know the truth. The reason people do not take you seriously has less to do with them, and more to do with the quiet, unconscious ways you diminish yourself every day. Through your language, through your posture, through your hesitation, through the stories you silently repeat in your own mind. And here is the good news. Once you see it, you can change it. You can begin the slow, deliberate process of becoming someone who no longer needs to be taken seriously. Because your presence already does the work for you. It starts with ownership. Own your time. Stop saying yes out of fear. Start honoring your own limits. Own your voice. Stop shrinking your opinions to sound more agreeable. Start standing by what you believe, even if it makes others uncomfortable. Own your space. Stop waiting for permission to be seen. Start walking into rooms like you belong there, because you do. This kind of self-respect is not loud. It is not boastful. It does not need to prove anything. That is the difference. People who truly take themselves seriously do not go around demanding attention. They simply exist with conviction, and people feel that. You cannot fake this. You cannot perform your way into real respect. It must be built, brick by brick, thought by thought, boundary by boundary. And yes, it takes time. You will be tempted to fall back into your old patterns. You will want to over-explain, to chase approval, to doubt yourself. But every time you resist that urge, you are rewiring your identity. You are training the world to see you differently, because you are finally seeing yourself differently. There will come a moment where you walk into a room and do not wonder who likes you. You will simply sit down and take up space like you were born to. And people will notice. They will not always understand what shifted, but they will feel it. They will treat you with more care. They will listen when you speak. They will ask for your opinion, not out of politeness, but out of genuine interest. That is the power of internal alignment. When who you are on the inside finally matches how you show up on the outside, the world responds. Not instantly, not perfectly, but inevitably. So here is your challenge. Stop trying to be taken seriously Start taking yourself seriously, not just in your words, but in your actions, not just in your image, but in your decisions, not just when others are watching, but especially when they are not. Respect starts in the mirror. And when you give it to yourself, fully, consistently, unapologetically, the world will follow. Every time.